Have you ever tried to send money to someone in other country? You quickly realize that it's not always as easy as sending WhatsApp message or an email. So you might have a bank, a mobile money service, a wallet, or another payment platform, and sometimes these systems simply don't work well together. Meanwhile, the internet has made sharing information incredible easy, as you see. So, so the question is, can we make sending money as simple as sending information? That's what we are going to explore today with open payments. Hello everyone and welcome back to this session of Open Source Kigali. My name is Didas Mbarushimana. I'm a software engineer, lead and organizer of Open Source Kigali, React.js Rwanda and Django Rwanda. So today we are very happy to have Marian Villa from Interledger ecosystem with us to explain how this works, why it matters, and what it could mean for developers and building and people who build new products. So, Marian, welcome to Open Source Kigali. Welcome. We are very happy to have you with us. So, over to you. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Didas. So, hello everyone, and thank you for being here. Before we dive into code, APIs, and protocols, I like to start with a simple question. As Didas said, why is sending money across the internet is still so difficult? And today we can send an email anywhere in the world in milliseconds, and we can stream a movie, make a video call, or share files instantly. Yet, moving money internationally often takes days, involves multiple intermediaries, high fees, and incompatible financial systems in between. So today I'd like to introduce you to Interledger, an open protocol designed to solve that interoperability problem and make payments work more like the internet itself. So first, I want to share a little bit what is Interledger. So my role directly in Interledger is DevRel, Developer Relations. So I want briefly explain the protocol. So Interledger is often misunderstood. So many people think it's a cryptocurrency, or others think it's another blockchain, and it's neither of them. So Interledger is an open protocol that connects payment networks. Think of it as a networking layer for value. So instead of replacing banks, wallets, fintechs, or blockchains, it allows them to connect one another through a common protocol. Just like the internet connects different computer networks, Interledger connects value networks. So first, developer relations stand for a practice of building meaningful long-term relationships between developers and technology they use. So what I do in my daily base is introducing this protocol, make it clear for people to build on top of it. So I like to start with a little bit of a story. So the idea behind Interledger was introduced in 2015 by Stefan Thomas and Evan Swartz, but we're working on different challenges around digital payments and recognize a common problem. Every payment system operates in isolation. So rather than creating another payment network, they ask a different questions like, what if every payment network could simply connect to one another? So that vision eventually became the Interledger Protocol, or ILP. And today, the work continues through the Interledger Foundation, an independent nonprofit supporting open standards, education, and developer adoption. So what DevRel is and is not, so as I said, a bridge between developers and the product, an ecosystem builder, a long-term growth journey, a feedback engine that informs product stocks and standards, and at the end, community, and it is this call. It's not sales, it's not marketing, but it works closely with both. So also many people are hearing about Interledger for the first time, probably in this call. This isn't a new idea. So the protocol has been evolving for over a decade. Thousands of hours of engineer research, experimentation, and collaboration have gone into making the protocol secure, escapable, and practical. And today, developers can already build a application using these technologies that sit on top of the Interledger. So If we want to define like Interledger in one sentence, so Interledger is a protocol for routing package of money across different payment networks and ledgers. Something important, it doesn't move a specific currency, it's more like value, and that value could represent dollars, euros, pesos, stablecoin, CBDCs, cryptocurrencies, mobile money, or other financial assets. So the protocol doesn't care. It simply ensures that value can travel across different systems. And as I said, the pillars of DevRel is try to inform as this talk, inspire and connect. So I'm sharing also my journey as DevRel because at the end I try to connect both like the technical content and also showing you how you can be active in the open source ecosystem. So people often also ask who competes with Interledger, and the answer is actually interesting because Interledger doesn't really have direct competitors because it isn't trying to become another payment network. Like, for example, Visa is a payment network, Swift is a banking messaging network, PayPal is a payment platform, Interledger is something different, and it sits between networks and allows them to interoperate. Um, I have a strategy priority. So for the foundation, we want to create like awareness and impact, create education initiatives. So that's why it's important to connect with the whole project. So the first, if you want to start with open source, the first ask is go to github.com/interledger and join our community. The other ask will be a suggestion is connect with us through Slack because that in that way you can be connected with our community team, especially BB. BB is in charge of educational projects like the Open Payments Learning Month. And also, if you want to create like influence, a strategic influence around like this technology, you can join us directly through our grants. We have different grants for open source contributors. So you can go to interledger.org and you can check directly in the grant page. And if you are looking to build like something with this technology, please share the other grants available, like the open payments for builders. We are looking for adoption and growth of the protocol. We have a framework, and I like to say this because probably when you are a developer, education, content, and be in touch with communities is a little tricky. So we follow the baby parrot metrics. So, but we call it baby parrot because we don't take the whole letters. We are thinking of awareness, activation, referral, and product based on Alex Lacatos, our DevRel strategy director. And what DevRel looks like in practice, we are part of conference, workshop, hackathons, partnership, content creation community. But you don't need to be at DevRel as myself. If you want to share this path, you can ask advice. You can tag me directly on Slack in our Slack community. I want to share with you that the most important concept in this presentation is we are looking for people that really enjoy to be connected with other communities, to use this amazing technology and try to create an impact directly in the world. That's why Interledger Foundation matters. And just to simplify things, like what Interledger does, it simply gives all of them a common language. So we are saying like banks, wallets, blockchains, we don't need to replace existing infrastructure. It's a neutral interoperability layer, and that's the power of Interledger. Today, financial ecosystem looks like hundreds of these connected islands. So every country has different regulations, every bank has different infrastructure, every payment provider has different APIs, every blockchain speaks its own language. So Interledger makes all of them system part of one interoperability network. That's why we often compare it to the internet. So we create a community. If you have feedback that can shape like our docs, events, and direction, you can go directly to us, like as I said, or directly to the GitHub, create a PR, send a pull request, and or a commit. and be champion for our community. We want also to expand like the resource and events we have for the ecosystem and the developer ecosystem. So if you have an idea or if you have an invitation to be part of the conversation, we will be here happily to join. Also, if you have like a project or a story you want to share with the community, please use like Interledger and create like the content, a demo, a video, a product, etc. Share it with us. Bring community feedback to the team, so to Interledger. I will be happy to intercede and try to bridge that to build that bridge that connects the internal product team with your use case. And also, if you want to be involved in education or get involved, like bring this to your university or your community, you can just ask and request, and we will be happy to join your efforts. So Interledger is important because Interledger translate between all of these networks. So it translate between them, allowing value to move securely across completely different payment infrastructures. So the results of using Interledger is lower cost, faster settlement, more competition, greater financial inclusion. We are talking about a network of packages. So this brings us to one of my favorite ideas. So Interledger doesn't move large payments all at once. Instead, payments are divided into small packets of value, very similar to how the internet divides information into packets. And each packet follows the best available route until it reaches its destination. This makes payment more resilient, more efficient, and more scalable. And in many ways, ILP treats money the same way TCP or IP treats information. Um, the important thing, if we are talking about open source, is it is an open protocol. That means it isn't owned by a bank, a payment provider, or a technology company. Anyone can implement it. Anyone can build on top of it. Just like HTTP became the standard for the web, ILP is designed to become an open standard for moving value across the internet. And this openness encourages innovation because developers don't need permission to build. Okay, how we work directly in the community. So we daily ask about like technologies. We have different SDKs because Internet Protocol has we have our own API, Open Payments API, with different SDKs in different languages. So if you are curious about how to contribute, you can go and read the documentation, as I say, directly in github.com/interledger. We have Python, we have JavaScript, PHP, Rust, etc. So you can start contributing. Also, we are asking directly in the Slack, that's the other screenshot, Vinyl, one our community managers directly in the Slack is asking about like how you can join or if you want to improve the documentation, the grants, and all the opportunities we have available for our community members. So DevRel at the ILF, this is 2025. This year we are running like the hackathon here in South America in Colombia. But last year we were in Mexico running different hackathons in Oaxaca, Aguascalientes, Ciudad de Mexico, and Estado de Mexico, and also different meetups and attending different hackathons around the world. So if you want to be or create content directly with Interledger Protocol, is not only the contribution is not only open for coders, or developers, is also for researchers, people that are thinking about how financial inclusion can cover the use case of their countries or their communities. So we will be happy to highlight you directly in our community. What can you build? So the specific use, we have different uses according to the geography or the countries we are based on in. So that's why Interledger is worldwide. So developers actually build with Interledger a lot of things. So we could talk about cross-border payments, multi-currency application, streaming payments, micropayments, machine-to-machine transactions, for example. You were talking about agentic payments, subscription models, content monetization. So these aren't theoretical ideas. Many of these use cases are already being explored today. So we have real world opportunities here to change the experience, the developer experience, and also the user experience. And we want to extend this to other continents. That's why it's important this call, because we know we have like brilliant developers out there that can take these open standards and open protocols and build something that probably will solve um, their own. They can close their own opportunities and create products that shape like the experience and the payment experience directly in their countries and in their communities. So a common concern with open payment is if the organizations, for example, if we're talking about banks or wallets, etc., if they need to replace their existing payment systems, the answer is not, because Interledger is designed to coexist with existing infrastructures. So banks don't need to rebuild everything, or fintechs doesn't need to abandon their APIs, or wallets don't need to migrate like their users. Instead, Interledger becomes another like interoperability layer that connects systems in production, and this dramatically lowers the barrier to adoption. I don't know if you want Didas to ask something, a small question here, or I can continue with the role. No. Okay.
I'm not
So
sure that the question actually. Yeah, can you move, please? Can you continue?
yes, yeah, definitely. So if we are talking about like measuring impact, we want the people to adopt like the technology because it's out there for you to use. It's just at the distance of one click, and one commit of PR. You can engage also in socials directly in GitHub, as I say, and the idea is to build like products that are like committed with the community. So one word for us is community, because what is important for us is to build interoperable payment experience without having to reinvent the entire financial infrastructure. That means like everything is open, and we want to define how value moves across network in a free, open way. So um, so we work internally, attending like different events, creating different documentation, trying to engage with you with different communities, ecosystem, try to involve in products and in standard decision. You can follow all our community calls, and yeah, try to understand how cross team can align with the real role. Directly through Slack, you can ask open questions. And one of the most important things that people are always asking me about my role as dev role is how to be always on the road. So we are trying to connect with the community because we are an open and distributed team. So if it's not virtual, probably I will take a plane and attend like these engagements around the world. And I think the most important thing is when you are building community and you are in touch with communities, you always find like common bases to connect with people, with connect with the realities, and try to share this technology, not because it's the solution, is because you are there to build with them. So this is the importance of open source and open standards. So because at the end, it's like trying to create empathetic communications with communities, and trying to build that bridge between the developers and the internal team that is building or improving like the developer experience and the adoption. So we were looking for a strong integration with product and standard work. So if you are building use case, as I said previously, in your community, in your country, in your city, please share with us directly in Slack and in GitHub, because we are looking for contribution, not just audiences. The key takeaways here is we are looking for a scale by real contributors. So building globally with the community leads, it makes us stronger. Is we are building more durable standards. So please, if you are a creator, also a writer, a musician, educator, or open source maintainers, you can check our project like web monetization, that it will be the standard for the browser for payments inside the browser. So go there, go to our repo, and try to get to know the complete ecosystem. As at the infrastructure layer, we have ILP connecting payment networks. At the application layer, as I say, we have Open Payments API, making programmable payments through modern APIs. At the user experience layer, we have web monetization that bridging payments directly into the browser, and each project serves a different audience, but together they create an open payment ecosystem, like where developers, financial institutions, business, and creators can all participate. And that's what makes Interledger so exciting, because it is not just one protocol, it's an entire ecosystem designed to make money move as easily as information. Beyond ILP, open payments, and web monetization, we have entering in the ecosystem several supporting projects that make it easy for developers to experiment, build, and deploy applications. For example, Rafiki. So if you want to go directly to github.com/interledger, you can search for that word, Rafiki. And there is an implementation of the Open Payments API, is that the infrastructure like that powers wallets and payment providers. And instead of building an open payment server from scratch, like organizations can deploy Rafiki and immediately support interoperable payments. So it's one of the key building blocks for everyone implementing open payments in production. We also have demos and a whole a bunch of different content for you to start building today. So you can create you can read the documentation, you can join the open payments. We have a call also for the open payments API. You can build a simple prototype. You don't need permission. You don't need enterprise partnership. You can start experimenting today, just like you will with another modern developer platform. um, so so the invitation right here is to be like just to jump directly to GitHub and Slack and be part of the community. So as I say, my work here is not an activity, it's an infrastructure for ecosystem growth, similar to what these open standard are looking to create. So thank you from the DevRel team, and this is a direct invitation to grow in the community. So technology only becomes impactful when people adopt it. And the Interledger Foundation, we don't just build protocols, we invest in people. And over the past few years, we were working with developers around, like, as I said, like the World Through Conference, workshop hackathons, universities, and open source collaborations. So our mission is to educate, gather feedback, and grow an inclusive global community for builders, because protocols doesn't change the world, developers do. So thank you for having me here today.
All right, so thank you so much, Marian, for this presentation. So because we are running out of the time, so I have just one question, so then we can end this live. So, like Marian, for developers building in Africa, especially in the markets where mobile money is a major part of everyday payments. So, what opportunities do you see for open payment?
Directly right now, we have like grants available, and every year, and I think we're trying to doing every 6 months. So for semester, we will have like the hackathon in New City, in Africa. So we are really committed with the African community, because we can see right now a huge adoption of these open source, open protocols, and around Interledger protocol adoption. So I will invite you directly, because it's a mature ecosystem, to join like interledger.org, explore the documentation, as I said. You can try open payments, experiment with web monetization too, join our Slack community, And if you enjoyed open source, we love to see your contributions directly on GitHub.
Thank you so much, Marian. I can replay again. Marian, she's a DevRel at Interledger Foundation. My name is Didas Mbarushimana. I'm a software engineer, lead, and organizer of Open Source Kigali. Marian Villa, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, happy to be here and answer your questions directly through Slack.
Thank you.